Where were you on 9/11, Maisie?
I wasn't born. I was a fetus.
This is the B Team intro song. Ow, that was my foot.
Hi guys, I'm Maisie. I'm with my co-defendants, Million, Garrett, and Riley. We're the B Team, and today we're talking about marketing and how to get clients to return back to your chair.
First off, if you guys would like to support us in this channel, that would be awesome. We would all love that. Some of us drink coffee, some of us drink Heineken. You can email us where at, Maisie?
bteamtattoo@gmail.com. On YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music, you can find us at B Team Tattoo Podcast.
There's a lot of B Team stuff out there, but there's only one B Team Tattoo Podcast.
That's right.
So make sure you enter the whole thing. Otherwise, you're going to be watching car salesman B Team videos, and this isn't much better, but that's worse. I've been talking to a lot of tattooers lately, and they're really kind of concerned with grabbing new clientele and new clientele acquisition. And I saw, Riley, you guys were just doing something this week, which I thought was absolutely genius. You guys did a treasure hunt, a treasure hunt around the city. What I want to address is maybe some cool things to get interactions. Riley, can you tell us what you guys did? I thought it was genius.
This was all the brainchild of the wonderful Miss Erin. She's brilliant all the time, and she decided to go buy 5 snow globes. And for 5 days, she went and hid them in different places around the city. And she got together and she came up with these rhymes, like a mystery, to give you clues. And then people went out and found them and brought them back to the shop, and we gave them a gift certificate and said thank you. You have to understand, that's not a way to get new clients. That's a way to reinforce values of old clients. Only people that are watching our Facebook, Instagram are participating really, and it's over like that. So people get the clue, and a half an hour later they got it.
Yeah. Which is crazy because honestly, those riddles were really, really hard.
They're really, really hard.
I had no idea for any of them, and every single day they were found within a handful of hours, if that.
But this wasn't about new clients. This was about reinforcing old relationships and getting clients back in the door. Honestly, my philosophy is if you've been doing this long enough, you're probably never looking for new clients. You only need 60 clients 3 times a year to make your money. But it's a great way to reinforce your old clients. And, gift certificates are great. It's the holidays. It's coming up, and we want people to get tattoos and have a fun time.
I could see where that would be a lot of fun, especially if you implemented or incorporated with some of the other local businesses, throwing it in a record store and what have you, and really cross-promoting. I think it was genius. So applaud to you and Aaron. Did you notice some heavier interactions with your social medias because of this?
I really couldn't say. That would be all Aaron.
I can answer this question because we were actually talking about it last night, and the interaction rate on those 5 posts was actually really, really low because nobody was sharing them to like Instagram or whatever, or sharing them with their friends because they were being really stingy and trying to find them themselves.
Yeah.
Doing little things like that, it serves multiple benefits. Yeah. What we do a couple of different event days. We haven't done anything like that. I totally want to steal that idea. We do a couple event days. We do 2 a year because of the size of our studio. If we make an event and we promote it, it's huge. Like we'll have lines down the block. Mm-hmm. So I have to be very selective myself of what we host as events. But we have 2 of them coming up. One next Friday, which depending on when this is released, would be Black Friday. And then we do a Toys for Tots run where we donate 100% tips, tattoos, everything except for the cost of jewelry to Toys for Tots. We go shopping to a local company. We go to a local toy store, a hobby store, local guitar store, local skateboard shop, and we spend about $16,000. This is all money that we raise in about an 8-hour period. We do $100 tattoos. You have to be a very well-managed, well-oiled machine for this to work. So we do also a Black Coffin Friday, which is something we started, I think this is, 10 years now. What I'm doing is compiling everyone's flash designs. Thanks to Athena at Amarok, gave me an idea where we make one big pork chop sheet. Everyone gets the same liners, the same brushes, the same color palette. So what it does is it really keeps everything looking clean, and you can't tell necessarily who did what. So those are just a couple things we're doing. Million, what do you guys do for event days or charity or shits and giggles besides soup?
Not much. We don't. I mean, so there's one that I'm hesitant to talk about because,
It's a good idea.
well, no, it's just I don't want the publicity on it. I don't want a bunch of people showing up. Fuck, I'll just say it. So Veterans Day, I do free tattoos all day.
That's cool.
I don't want to have to vet everybody that's there and stuff like that. I got it from buddy out in Oregon that did the same thing. He's been doing it for years. Mr. Moots, all day long. I just, this year I didn't get the flyers out, but my bad. But otherwise, yeah, put out flyers just to local vets clubs and just do tattoos and just have flash of like campaign ribbons. And this year I had the Little Green Army Men.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
So I had designs of those. So yeah, that stuff on Veterans Day. I just hang out at the shop for the day and do that.
Nobody's watching anyway, so I don't think you'll have to worry about anyone
I was going to
showing
say.
up.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome. Giving back to the community a little bit. I think it's something that we're all more than capable of doing. You know, we don't do the Toys for Tots for fame or fortune or anything else like that. We do it for fun. But the upside is that, you know, people respect that, you know.
Yeah.
Riley, what do you guys do?
We're constantly doing stuff, whether that be sponsoring somebody else's event or just reaching in your pocket and giving them money, or sometimes, you know, tattooers go and tattoo on site at locations. If you want ideas, you tattoo free on Veterans Day. Go to the VFW next year and get 3 or 4 tattooers and get some space and tattoo everybody in there. Don't do it at your own shop. I mean, you can if you want, but if you got
That's a good idea.
you went over to, on Veterans Day in the bar, in the club, tattooing, that would just be amazing. We used to do a lot of off-location tattooing in bars and clubs and places like that, because what we found is maybe 10 people get tattooed that night, but there's 150 people watching that want to get a tattoo, and they come in for the next month. A lot of organizations have different events, and then they have fundraisers and charities for different things. You know, we contact them, and, you know, at a lot of events, they'll have like a table that you can sponsor. And there'll be like a centerpiece for the table that you would pay for. Like, it's usually a big, beautiful bouquet of flowers or something like that, which probably costs about $100. And then you would have a gift basket that you would give away, and that would get split up amongst the people at the table. Things like that are like, they're out there if you look for them. You know, if you want to start fighting cancer, get a hold of the people that fight cancer and go, what events do you have coming up and how can I help? How can I sponsor them? What can I give you? One of my favorites, if we're talking about it, back in the day, back in the day when my kid was still going to school, when he went to grade school, the grade school's constantly having like bingo night and things like that to raise money so the kids can go on field trips or whatever they need. And I would just went into the principal and said, how can I help? And he's like, well, I don't know, we do bingo night. And I was like, great, here's 4 $50 gift certificates. It was the hottest item the elementary school ever had. And they have events like that all the time. When it comes to like charity, it doesn't have to be some big $15,000 deal. It can just be a couple $100 and go here, just here. And, you know, getting a tax deduction for it's nice, but it's not necessary either. Garrett, you didn't go to school at all. You dropped out in the 3rd grade, you know, and you lived a life of danger as a circus employee. I get it, bro. So that's not going to work.
So some of these, you know, speaking of circus performers, and to touch on something that you mentioned a minute ago, Riley, off-site events. While, you know, I've tattooed some pretty weird places. You know, I used to do horror conventions, of course, tattoo conventions, but that doesn't count. Horror conventions. I once did a tattoo event for Parma, which is a brand of prosciutto. Everyone that got a Parma tattoo got a full leg of Parma. Those are like $500. So one thing I will say about when you do these off-site events, you know, Million, if you do decide to go to the American Legion or the VFW, one thing that you have to make sure is that you are on your A game, because there are going to be people that are looking down on you, and if you can impress them with your cleanliness and effectiveness and all that, you will get some fans, you will get some followers, you will get people into your studio. But if you're sitting around while you're at these events, you're at the VFW and you're cracking back beers and shit like that, and you're acting like an idiot, that's going to stick with you as well. So if you
Yeah,
do
you
these
still have to set your standards.
yeah, and in fact, they should even be higher.
But yeah, adhere to all the legality of whatever state or wherever you're tattooing. But it's like getting out there in the public and seeing that for some people that just will blow their mind.
Just make sure you're on your game if you're going to do that. There's a lot of different opportunities. And as I stated, if you're not careful, it will look bad on you and your business. But if you do it right and you do it smart, keep it clean, keep it professional. Somebody turns 18 every day. I've done some of these educationals where the school, like you guys had mentioned, where you come in and talk to the school, talk to the high schoolers. I've tattooed some of these kids afterwards. It gives them something to look forward to.
Well, the nice thing about gift cards is oftentimes if you do something like Riley and Aaron did with the like go and find it thing, or if you're donating to an auction or whatever, even if it's $100 or $200, oftentimes people are going to take that gift card and spend a lot more than that initial $100 or $200. I personally just donated a $300 gift card for a fundraising event. The person that won it, she's getting a tattoo quite larger than $300, and she's getting a gift card for her daughter and her son. Back to like the auction and stuff like that, it's a really wonderful thing to, you don't necessarily even have to donate money, but you get this little plaque out with a couple pictures of your work and a little gift certificate. People get to bid on it. They get a deal. Lots of people get to see that. Even if that person doesn't win your gift card, then they have you in mind for their next tattoo. So I do think that that's a great way to go. I don't know about you guys, but we get 7 or 8 calls a year to the shop of people saying, hey, we're doing this event. Do any of your artists want to donate a gift certificate or anything like that? And those that do, it's a really great way to get yourself out there, do something nice for your community, potentially like build money for a friend of yours or a corporation that you support. And then on top of that, make your name a little bit more public.
I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to some things. I will not donate cash unless it's something local, to somebody very directly close to me or a business close to me. I personally do not like donating cash. I've done it before where we had a pet rescue thing, and we wrote a check out to this pet rescue. But the thing is, and maybe it's me being paranoid, is once that money leaves my hands, I don't know where the fuck it's going. I don't know if it's going to pay Susan G. Komen's fucking $10 million salary. I don't know where it's going. So I am personally a stickler for that. I will not write you a check. Don't hit me up on a cold call like that. If I know you, I'll give you anything you want. That's me though.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole.
So for me, I get paranoid about the silent auction thing.
Really? Why?
Because a lot of times it's happened to me a couple times where somebody comes in to get the gift certificates. I give them to them. They come back with the gift certificates bragging about how they spent less than the value of those gift certificates. I'm like, well, then I could have just given them $200 for that charity, that silent auction. So they would have made more money on that than the other way. So I tend to just cut them a check and donate cash to it. I don't have a problem with really small gift certificates, like a $50 gift certificate or something like that, just to kind of taste. But yeah, a big gift certificate, I don't do that anymore. Unless I know I can be there and rack up the silent auction bids and force them to go over the amount.
Don't ever just hand them a gift certificate. You need to have a bunch of merchandise, like hats, shirts, prints of your art, a painting, a drawing. It needs to be a bulk of things, so it kind of confuses them. They're like, oh, I really like that hat, or I really like that painting. Oh, and there's a gift certificate? Because when you lay out a gift certificate, the value's $100, and they're not going to bid over $100.
Right.
Exactly.
But if there's a bunch of other stuff that holds a value, they'll be like, well, $230 sounds like a good deal.
Yep.
Dang, I should have done that.
Yeah, Maisie.
What?
Well, now you know for next time.
Now, why couldn't we have had this conversation last week? Fuck.
One thing needs to be addressed. These gift cards. If you are collecting money for a gift card, you cannot give it an expiration date.
If you're donating to a legitimate charity, they're going to have a tax ID number that they're going to give you, and you're going to associate that in your taxes for your eligible refund that you have. Now, if it's just going out there in the world, that's a different story. It may not count as a tax deduction as a donation just because you gave to whatever. That doesn't necessarily work. I'm not a tax professional, but you might want to contact one if you are in that boat. But a legitimate tax ID number that goes along, especially if it's with a 5031C or something like that, you're good to go. Did I just totally right over here?
No, that was great.
One thing I want to circle back on real quick is the discussion of getting more people into your studio,
Okay.
do more tattoos. That's only the first step in the game. You still have to get them to come back after they come in. You give them a shitty experience for that one gift certificate tattoo, you're done. This is expanding your client base so that you can have those 60 people you tattoo 3 times a year.
What I do to get people to return is a high level of professionalism and my attitude. And beyond that, I offer, I have candy and squishy and they get a free touch up, and all that fun stuff. But I genuinely do think that there's a lot to be said for your disposition and how you treat the person and engage with the person, make that person feel heard and value their time as much as they value yours. Frankly, I've gotten a lot of clients, even when my tattoos were shit, because I care. Nobody cares, but I try to care a little bit.
Maisie's tattoos are awesome.
Thanks.
They're amazing.
What about you guys?
Well, as Millions said, getting them in the door it's pretty easy. Getting someone to walk in, it's a lot easier than maintaining them and making sure they come back. Little things like that, I think, play huge. Making sure, we kill them with kindness. I have the counter staff, everybody, we're Black Coffin, we're supposed to be spooky and all that. No, we've got the nicest fucking staff, the friendliest counter staff. We give people a bottle of water. It's not a big deal. I'll put out candy. I used to put out snacks until the tattooers just started making that their lunch. Just going that extra mile. Give them a fucking t-shirt when they spend $500. It's free advertising. That shirt only costs you $7 to print. And if it didn't cost you $7, you're doing your shirts wrong. But give them something to talk about. So you send that client out with a t-shirt. That's A, write the fucking shirt off. B, you got somebody out there rocking your shirt. That's advertising. You can't buy that. You can't buy that at all. And it starts a conversation. And then that person says, oh, you go to Black Coffin. I go to Black Coffin. And it starts this whole thing. Little things like that. I've got friends that'll give them a little aftercare bag. That's branded with their merchandise. I think, Million, you'd do something like that, don't you?
Yep. I give them a folder and it's got stickers in it and yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that shit goes a long ways. It's not 1990 anymore, You can't walk into the shop while I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette and I say, what the fuck do you want? Good luck with that shit, guys. You've got to adapt.
Here's something that I've done a handful of times that I have had be widely successful. And I don't do this as much as I frankly should. But anytime I'm doing
the build-up is so much that it's going to be like, this is going to be trash.
Okay, anytime I'm doing pencil on paper mock-up of a tattoo that I'm going to do, I frame that and I give it to him. And a frame from Michael's is $5. And I have done that a handful of times, and I have had people post that as a post on their personal Instagram. I have seen these in people's homes where they are just so excited that they have not only their tattoo by me, but also a hand-drawn picture of their tattoo by me for their wall. And I could not recommend that more. I'm recommending it a little bit more to myself because I don't do it enough.
How many times, Maisie, have you walked into a thrift store and found said art for sale?
No.
I'm kidding. I get a kick out of going to the thrift store and finding some of our shirts, our shop shirts in there. I'm like,
That's fucking
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So here's something that people could do. So like I said, I give them a folder. I just take cheap stickers, put it on the front so it looks like I branded the folders or whatever like that. And then I put their aftercare instructions in there, throw a couple stickers in there. But if you're doing, which you should be as a professional artist, doing morning warm-up drawings, you take a small drawing pad and then do a sketch on there from one of your morning warm-ups, just a quick sketch, sign it and put it in there too. You can do that for every client that you have. And they're little 3-5 minute sketches. It's just a little something.
That's a great idea.
But yeah, you should be doing a morning warm-up sketch anyway. You're a goddamn professional. Act like a professional.
Do you dip it in the toilet before you give it to them, or
Yeah,
No, I just wipe gently on the rim.
Okay.
Million, you came here. It's been a couple of years, but you've got something really smart too. I still have it on my fucking cabinet. It's a magnetic aftercare instruction.
Yeah, I love that.
that's smart?
It's super smart, like
Yeah, fridge magnet.
yep, and because it keeps you in their mind when they're getting a snack at night.
Yep.
What do you? Is it
Like a 5x7.
Yep.
Oh, it's pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's got the basic aftercare written right on the front. I do like a 3-2-1 aftercare, 3 days with the wrap, 2 days dry, 1 day, or washing once a day like you normally would. Please call your doctor on the bottom, and then if there's any problems, and then our phone number and website. And then, yeah, it's just a fridge magnet like all the other fridge magnets on your fridge. It just looks cooler than the rest of them.
What are those? About a quarter a piece, Million, something like that? Maybe 50 cents?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 25 cents a piece. You're going to give out 500 in a year, easy.
There is for lack of a better way, there's a gratification with giving that can, I think of some events that I do on a yearly basis that really, really mean a lot to me. Like, I know how you are about the Toys for Tots thing, Garrett. It's amazing, and the Veterans Day thing, for a million it's a very personal things, and I think about some of the stuff like, there's one event that I do that happens every year, and it's a Narcotics Anonymous event. And they auction off things to raise money for other events in the community for, addicts and recovering addicts. So I try to paint, but I don't ever sell my paintings. I very rarely profile them, and I don't allow people to buy them. That is the only place that I can think of that you could ever buy one of my pieces. It's a 3-day event, so the morning of the auction, I get up early and I go there and I set up an easel and I start painting. Whatever I paint that day is what gets auctioned that night, that evening at the fundraiser.
Oh, that's cool.
It makes me feel good to produce that day and be an artist, be a real artist and do something fun. And the conversations that I get to have with people while I'm doing it's amazing. And it kind of builds up hype. That one's very special for me. And I get to do some art.
Maybe it's not a tattoo. Maybe it's a painting.
If I ever wanted to get new customers, we talked about this in guerrilla marketing. I didn't go do some big advertising campaign. I just grabbed my sketchbook and went to the bar. Out there and draw tattoos. Just tracing flash at the bar will get you more customers than you ever wanted. Because everybody's going to be like, what are you doing? Well, I'm a tattoo artist and I'm trying to sell these tattoos. And they're going to be like, hell yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Happens to be so often sketching in the wild where I just set up a tripod and an easel on that tripod.
Yeah.
And draw somewhere. It doesn't matter if you have a sign up saying, don't talk to me. Somebody's going to come up and talk to you.
They will.
And want more information.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody loves tattoos. What happens is they start going, well, check out this tattoo I got, or check this out, or I have an idea for a tattoo. You just sit there and talk to them.
Riley has a classic idea that I love, which is you take all your business cards and you go to the grocery store and you put them in products like eggs.
Well, until they kick you out.
I love that because now you have something to bond over. You can bond over eggs.
I did eggs, but for you and your client base, I would suggest you go to a clothing store and put them in the pockets of different clothes.
Can Million do gravy?
Yeah, there's gravy packets. You can just stick them on gravy packets. That would
Staple?
work. Sure.
I'm going to go to the deli and I'm going to stick it in the block of cheese. So
I'm going to do Garrett.
Do it.
Okay, ready? Hey, I'm Garrett. You're watching the B Team. If you didn't like this episode, choke on a fucking razor blade.
Hey guys, do we think that anybody cares?
Nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn about any of this.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last I checked,
I care about gravy.
last I checked, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. We did get some gravy comments, though.